All right, hey guys, it's another YouTube game with myself and Raider Bill, and we're doing a play test and see how these rule changes kind of play out. So, as Raider Bill said, he's playing the Axis, I'm playing the Allies. So we're going to kick it off here with little United States action. I'm actually not doing any combat. So USA is purchasing with 52 4 on tech, an aircraft carrier, a destroyer, 2 transports, and 2 infantry. And I'm saving 4. Okay. Non-combat. Woo. I'm going to take the transport, destroyer, and sub from Hawaii, pick up 2 guys, and go down to 54. And drop the 2 guys off in Queensland. The rest of the fleet, transport's going to pick up an infantry, or infantry and an artillery. Yeah. And go down to Hawaii with everybody else. A battleship, 2 cruisers, destroyer, carrier, and I'm going to leave the tactical on the carrier. And here's the transport that transported the land units over. Also, I'm going to take mech. I don't know what that chip was for. Oh, the other guy. Take the mech and fighter. And they're going to run all the way over to the East Coast. Okay, let me swap out the guy. Boop. Also, that'll do it for East Coast or West Coast. Over here, I'm gonna take my strat bomber, pick up 1 infantry, and go air transport 1 to 101, 2 to 102, 3 to 90, 4 to 91, 5 to Casablanca, and drop them off. And I'm going to take the 3 other mechs, move them up into Eastern. The tank, move them up into Eastern. Leave the 2 fighters. And that'll do it for the U.S. Rock on. All right, so I'm going to take my cup here. As far as West Coast, I'm just placing a carrier, and everything else is going into the East Coast. So I've got two infantry, 2 transports, and a destroyer going over on the East Coast. Okay. Okay. That'll do it for over here. Income, collect 50. And I am at war, so new rules. I have 5 in Casablanca, or 1 in the land unit in Casablanca, so that's 5. Not neutral, that's 10, so it's 15 more. And then I have 16 of my original territories. So that's 16 plus 15 is 31, and I saved 4. So that's 35 plus my 50, I collect 85. So I have all my chips that I spent this term plus my save 4, and I'm adding another 33 to that. So that makes 85 for next turn. All right. So that's US. Now on to UK. I am buying an airbase and 6 infantry and saving 2 plus my tech. Okay. I'm going to try to do this all in one foul swoop, all 3 countries. So starting here, I'm going to take the destroyer from 39 and go 1 to 41, 2 to 42, 3 to 43, and that'll kill the Japanese transport. Then I'm going to take fighter from Shan State and go 1, 2, 37, and the fighter from Calcutta is going to go 1, 2, 3. They both have 2 movement left. And it's been a minute since I played a YouTube game, so I should have had that already laid out. Sorry. Okay, there's that. And also, I'm going to take an infantry and artillery from Calcutta on the transport from 39, go to 79 to 80. Drop them off in Iraq, along with the tactical from Egypt. It's going to go 1, 2, and he'll have 2 left. Okay. And also, take tactical from C-Zone 98 and go 1 into 96. The fighter from Malta is going to go 1 into 96. The cruiser from 91 is going to go 92, 94, 96. The fighter from Gibraltar, 1, 2, 3, will attack C-Zone 96 as well. All the planes have, they're all going to land back in Egypt, except the fighter from Gibraltar. He only has 1 movement left. He's going to land on the carrier right there in 98. Okay. Also, I'm going to pick up an infantry and artillery on the transport and go 90, go to 81 and to 76 and drop them off in Ethiopia. Infantry from Anglo Egypt Sudan is going to go into Ethiopia. The mech from Anglo Egypt Sudan is going to go into Ethiopia. Okay. And lastly, up here, my destroyer from 109 is going to go over to 106. Okay. So that's all my combats. So let's start off with, I'm gonna, oh, yeah, start off with the destroyer and sub over off of Canada. C-Zone 106. So I've got destroyer versus your sub. Okay, again, colors, whites are 1s, yellows are 2s, oranges are 3s, and reds are 4s. So 106. We killed each other. Look at that. Okay. All right. So then we'll go over to C-Zone 96. I've got a cruiser, 2 fighters, and a tactical, and you have a destroyer. So I'm going to start it off with my tactical is going to target select. Try to not absorb a hit. So start off with that. And it missed. And then I have 2 fighters and a cruiser. So 3 3s and you have a 2. All right. 2 hits and you missed. Okay. Okay, and then transport's an auto kill. All right. And then we've got Iraq, where there are 2 pro-axis infantry. So I will have 2 at 2 for my infantry artillery paired. I'll have a tactical, and I'll have a 1-time cruiser bombard. Okay, and you've got 2. Yeah, I got them both. See that? I just flipped the other one, but 2 3s hit, and your return fire missed. Okay. So Iraq falls. Now Ethiopia. I've got 2 infantry, a mech, and an artillery. So artillery paired with a mech and 2 infantry, and you have 2 2s. Okay, this is Ethiopia. Okay, an infantry and an artillery hit. Okay, gotcha. And your response misses. Ethiopia is British. Got to put around them. Fight for territory. Okay. What else that I've concocted here and may have kind of screwed myself there in Egypt, but we shall see. I've got C-Zone 37, 2 fighters against your cruiser. So my 2 fighters, I blanked your cruiser, missed. My 2 fighters, 2 hits, your cruiser, missed. I dodged a bullet there. Okay. All right. So that's all the combats. Now I'm going to capture Iraq. So UK goes up 3. Up to back to 37. And Italy goes down 1. Okay. Non-combat. Tank from, I'll move this over here a little bit. 2 fighters from 37 are going to have 2 movement left. They're going to go 1, 2, and land in Yunnan. The 2 infantry from Burma. It's going to get a little crowded in here. Whoever's playing China. Ah, that's me. All right, 2 from there. And the tank will drive to Yunnan. And then 4 infantry and an AA will rail there. So I'll go ahead and chip this guy out. Tank drives there. And an AA. So 2 walked and 4. So that's 6 infantry plus a tank, and then the AA went as well. The other infantry, oh shit. Everything's there in Yunnan. You know where it's at. So the rest of this stuff is going to stay here. Infantry from West India is going to move up 1 back into India. Over here, the tactical bomber is going to fly, he has 2 left, fly back to Egypt. The 2 fighters, 1 fighter is going to go back to Egypt. The tactical is going to go back to Egypt. The other fighter is going to go back to the carrier. The tank is going to go into Egypt. Over here. The strat bomber is going to fly. How do I want to do this? The strat bomber is actually just going to stay there. The transport is going to go down to 91 and drop off a mech and an infantry into Gibraltar. One fighter from up here is going to fly down to Gibraltar. Everything else is going to chill in UK. The destroyer down here in 71 is going to go 1, 2, 3 up to 81. Okay. I believe that is everything for UK. Okay, so UK is at 37 on the income tracker, and I'm at war with Japan. So I have India, West India, and Malaya, so that's 5. I control Iraq, so it's 7. I control Egypt, Transjordan, El Alamein, so it's 12. And I will add an extra infantry. So that's a grand total of 10, 11, 12 more IPCs, and I have 37. So I have 49, and I saved 2. So I will have, no, I forgot to put my units down. Told you it's been a minute for me doing a YouTube game. So 12 plus 37 is 49, and I saved 2, so I'll have 51. So that's 10, 20, 30. $40, 5, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51. So UK will have 51 to spend next turn. And I'm placing an air base in Egypt. And I'm placing 5 infantry in London. And placing my 6th infantry plus my free guy in Calcutta. So I will go ahead and chip this guy out. So I'll have 4 British infantry and 2 AA in Calcutta. Okay, I will do disposition of everything once I'm done. So yeah, it's gonna be a long video. Sorry, all mine are long. So there you have it. All right, China. I have 12 IPCs to spend, and I'm buying 4 infantry. All right, so what we're doing is we're going to take 1 infantry into Guangxi, walk on, 3 infantry, 1 from Kwaichao, and 2 from Yunnan, into Hunan with the fighter. Okay. Then I'm going to take 1 infantry into Chahar with 3 cavalry. Okay. The rest is non-com. All right. So this is a walk-on. So Japan down 1. China up 1. Okay, now we're going to do 3 infantry and a fighter versus your artillery. Three infantry and a fighter versus your artillery. We're going to roll it all together. All right, my fighter hit and your infantry hit, or your artillery hit. Okay. Obviously, we're losing infantry. And Hunan back to China. China goes back up to 11. And Japan goes down to 34. And then over to Chahar. I've got an infantry and 3 cavalry. So 3 cavalry and an infantry versus your 2 infantry. Okay. This is Chahar. I got 2 hits. Okay. And your response, blanks. Okay, Chahar Goes back to China. So China goes back to 12 where they started. Japan goes down to 33. All right, non-combat. 1 infantry from Shenxi goes up to Hopei. 1 infantry from Sichuan goes to Shenxi. And the remaining 2, 4, 5 go into Yunnan. And I will chip this guy out and place my other 4. So I'll put 5 more in here. All right. So Burma Road's open. All right, so China has 12 on the income tracker, and Burma Road's open, so I'll collect 16 or 18. So China will hold pat with 18 IPCs for next turn. All right. Here goes the disposition. Buckle up. All right, start with China. I've got an infantry in Suiyuan, an infantry in Shenxi, infantry in Kuaichao, infantry in Hopei, infantry and 3 cavalry in Chahar. I've got, I got to land my plane back in Yunnan too. 2 infantry in Hunan. And in Yunnan, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Chinese infantry, a Chinese fighter, a British tank, a British AA, 2 British fighters, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 British infantry. Okay, and 2 British fighters. That's it for China. And then United States, over here. On the West Coast, I have 2 infantry and 2 AA. C-Zone 10, I've got a carrier. C-Zone 26, I've got a carrier with a fighter and a tactical. A battleship. 2 cruisers, a destroyer, and a transport. On the land, I've got an infantry and an artillery, 2 fighters. Down in C-Zone 54, I've got a sub, a destroyer, and a transport. And in Queensland, 2 American infantry. Over here, East Coast, I've got an air transport strat bomber, an infantry in Casablanca. I've got 3 transports in C-Zone 101, a cruiser and a destroyer. On the East Coast, I've got 2 fighters, 1, 2, 3, 4 mechs, a tank, an artillery, 3 infantry, and 2 AA. For Great Britain, UK, I've got an AA up in Scotland. I've got 4 AAs down in London. 4 times 3 is 12. So you have 4. Yeah, that's fine. You know what? I know this is way after the turn. I'm just going to slide 1 AA down here. Don't tell anybody. Okay, so I got 5 AAs in London. 2 British fighters, 1 British strat, 6 British infantry, 2 French infantry, and a French fighter. In C-Zone 91, I have a helpless transport. I've got in Gibraltar, a mech, an infantry, and a fighter. In C-Zone 96, I got a cruiser on Malta, AA, and an infantry. El Alamein, I've got an infantry. C-Zone 98, I've got a cruiser, destroyer, carrier, and a fighter. In C-Zone 81, I've got a destroyer. In Egypt, I've got 3 infantry, an artillery, a tank, 2 tacticals, and a fighter. In Ethiopia, I've got 2 infantry, a mech, and an artillery. C-Zone 76, I've got a transport. C-Zone 80, I've got a transport and a cruiser. Iraq, I've got an infantry and an artillery. Calcutta, I've got 4 infantry, 2 AA, and a Commonwealth infantry. As I said before, Yunnan, I don't know how many infantry that is, 6. 2 fighters, tank, and an AA. In Malaya, I've got 3 infantry and a Commonwealth infantry. C-Zone 43, I've got a destroyer. I think that's everything. I apologize if I missed anything, Bill, but that'll do it. All right, take care, everybody.